On the other side, we see the princess in the control room, pondering, "At least I'm back in the control room, but is it really all right for me to use a divine artifact? If it rejects me, then—" As she was thinking this, she heard the noise of Atlas soldiers marching towards Cain, and their captain shouted, "All the security systems are turned off. I'll head to the control room. You guys, catch the intruder." Shay, after hearing that, thought, "I don't have time to worry about that. I need to wear the diadem now." Then, as she donned the artifact, she remembered her father's words when he told her, "Shay, my daughter, the divine artifact of the first beast king is both a blessing and a curse. If a chosen one dons the artifact, it will confer a great blessing, but if you are not chosen, it will cost you your life." After remembering that, Shay thought, "I'm going to die if I really wasn't a chosen one. There's no way I would be this weak. I'm useless. I'm only strong during a full moon. But I have to keep my promise to Lord Cain." Then, as soon as the artifact was placed on her head, she heard a voice. "Beastrin's blood is one that runs with devotion, sacrifice, and loyalty. You've worked hard out of devotion, sacrificed your own body, and sworn loyalty. You will be blessed." Right then, she started seeing everything around her, even things invisible to the naked eye, and she said, "I can see it all. Van, the Thunder Emperor, is dead, and Lord Cain has lost consciousness. What I have to do is finish off the enemies and take Lord Cain somewhere safe." Meanwhile, Atlas soldiers had reached the control room, so Shay attacked them and counted, 2 down, 10 to go. Then we see Cain's dream, in which he was confronting the beast Princess Shay in a war and saying to her, "This world is rightfully mine. That means you're dirty thieves who are trying to steal from me, so it only makes sense that the just thing to do would be putting you all to death." Shay, after hearing that, says, "I can only pity you if that's how you truly think. I pity those born with no choice but to be villains. After all, I will kill you here and now." Cain smiled at her and replied, "Don't make me laugh, 37th Beast King. You thieves are the ones who will die today." Right then, Shay attacked Cain, and while pushing her sword into Cain's chest, she said, "Tyrant Cain von Euclid, why have you wielded such might in that way?" Cain was down, and he thought, "Ha, I guess I lose." Suddenly, we see that Cain is unconscious, and Shay has taken him to a safe tunnel. While looking at Cain, she thought, "Lord Cain's consciousness hasn't returned yet. Neriel will arrive on the second continent in just 4 hours, and the communication device is broken too. Don't tell me Atla has made it so we can't contact them." After that, she walked out of the tunnel saying, "Let's go get a little fresh air." Then, as she walked out and looked at the moon, she wondered, "That's a half moon, but why does it feel like the full moon? I need to make sure my eyes have really changed. The problem that has plagued me all my life has been solved so easily." Suddenly, she heard a voice saying, "Nice weather, huh?" It really brings me back to that day. She looked back, and it was Starfish, rank 1 Atla executive, standing behind her. Shay got startled and asked him, Why are you here?" Starfish replied, "I heard Van the Thunder Emperor had died, you see." Then he asked, "Where is Reinhardt von Euclid?" Shay heard his question and asked him back, "Why do you think the supreme ruler of the first continent is here?" "So," Starfish replied, "because of the extremely regrettable way the rank 8 Atla executive, Lightning Emperor Van, met his end. As far as I know, only 3 people would be able to kill him that way. The Absolute One, the boss of my organization, the sword god of the 4th continent, and lastly, the supreme ruler of the first continent, Reinhardt von Euclid. And the only one I don't know the current whereabouts of is Reinhardt, so him being here is certain." Shay, after hearing him, said, "It appears you're under some kind of misunderstanding. The person you're looking for is not here." Starfish then replied, You're working together with him. There's no way you wouldn't know. Did he give you a fake name? Seems it's just that he doesn't trust you. Leave this place, princess of the second continent. You're in my way." After saying that, he pushed away the princess and broke into the cave. Then he shouted, "Come out here, Reinhardt! Today is the day I get the revenge I've longed 20 years for." While saying this, he created a spear in his hand, but before he threw it, the princess intervened, so he had to throw the spear towards her. The princess fell back, barely dodging the spear, and thought, "I just barely dodged that. I would have died if not for the divine artifact. I have to get back up, but my body won't listen to me." Starfish then threw the spear towards the cave, saying, "You're pretty good being able to dodge my spear, but I have no interest in you." The princess, feeling guilty for not being strong enough to protect Cain, decided to do whatever it took to shield him. She attacked the starfish, saying, "I'll kill you!" The starfish retaliated with a barrage of spears, and as he was about to deliver the final blow, Cain emerged from the rubble of the cave. "I had a long, bad dream," he said, "so I really need something to vent my frustrations on." The starfish recognized Cain and asked, "Why are you here? Weren't you killed by Reinhardt?" Then, with a scared expression, he thought, "Did the shrine maiden lie to us?" Cain was pronounced dead by the Euclid kingdom. Did Reinhardt deceive the shrine maiden and his people? He then said to Cain, "Ha, I see it. I get it. He lied to protect you. I'll gift your head to Reinhardt." Cain replied, "You are the same as the Thunder Emperor." Shay realized she would be a hindrance if she stayed, so she left, trusting Cain with the fight. The starfish attacked Cain, and Cain's sword began to melt. He also received a wound from the spears and fell back. Here, we understand that starfish's power is the ability to destroy and absorb metal. Cain's bleeding wouldn't stop, so he asked the starfish, "You're able to affect the metal in my blood as well, huh?" Starfish confirmed, "Yes, I obtained this ability to kill your grandfather." Cain thought, "The only thing I can do is attack first." He tried to attack Starfish from behind, but an iron ball with spikes formed as a defense. Noticing something, Cain attacked again with his full power, sending the starfish flying back. Cain then opened the mimic box and took out the divine sword Mistletoe. Looking at it, he understood that it was finally ready. Starfish laughed at Cain's wooden sword and attacked him with spears, saying, "I'll tear you to pieces." But, to his surprise, Cain destroyed all his spears, and then said, "It's too early for you to be surprised." Cain then sliced Starfish's arm and asked, "How do you feel about getting your arm sliced off by a wooden sword?" Starfish speculated that it was a magic sword, so Cain told him, "I don't know what you've misunderstood, but this is not a magic sword." Then, while performing the final slash, Cain said, "I've never fought at my full power in any battles since I was born. The reason being that there was no sword that could withstand my power. This is the first time I can swing my sword at full strength, so I beg of you, please at least be able to withstand a single swing." We then see Cain slicing through the starfish, killing him instantly. Cain searched the body and took out the data chip, but as he was doing this, he felt dizzy due to blood loss. Shay arrived, and Cain collapsed after handing over the chip. We then see Cain having a dream and fighting against someone named the Light That Pursues the Truth, Serena Sorit. And as a result of the fight, everyone died. Then we see Cain opening his eyes and thinking, that dream again. It's just like the dream I had last time, but more detailed now. If I'm fated to destroy the world, then how am I supposed to live?" After the princess woke up, Cain asked her if she was able to contact the second continent. She replied, "No. I think Atla has made it so none of our communication codes work. It's such a pity after we worked so hard to get the communication device." Cain then used a code on the communication device, and Shay asked him, "What code are you using?" Cain replied, You'll be able to tell soon enough. Suddenly, Shay heard her father's voice from the device, saying angrily, I didn't think you'd actually contact me. Aren't you taking me a little too lightly? Why aren't you saying anything? Answer me, Reinhardt. You goddamn thief bastard. And you even left that damn ominous letter. I'll be borrowing the divine artifact for a little while. I'll return it later, so make sure you take good care of the communication device. Shay then replied, It's Shia. Can you hear me? Her father asked, Shia? Why do you have Reinhardt's communication device? She replied, I'll tell you later. Then she asked, Are you alone? Her father said yes. So Shay told him that Atla was on their way to invade them, and her brother didn't do anything, so don't imprison him. Her father replied, Okay, and well done, Shay. You've done a great job. After that, he asked her again, How did you get your hands on this communication device? Cain told her to make something up, so she cut the call while acting as if there was a connection problem. After the call was cut, Shay asked Cain, So you're the grandson of that the supreme ruler? Cain replied, Yes. So she added, I did think that you were familiar somehow. Cain then told Shay not to mention anything in front of the Beast King. Then while analyzing the data, he saw someone and thought, Isn't this the light that pursues the truth? She's another one of the 3 constellations I'm strongly connected with. She's also known as the Witch of the Third Continent. But why is the witch on Starfish's chip? Then, after checking more data, he thought, why would they be investigating her activities now? If I recall, her first appearance should be 7 years from now. And she's the Lord of the Machine Tower. I think my grandfather said she took over 10 years ago. Then he noticed that the data said, Cain is dead, so he continued pondering. So the witch was the one who told him that? What in the world happened here? I don't have the time to obsess over this little detail. Shay suddenly noticed something and asked Cain, The invasion rate of the third continent is at 0%? Does that mean the information we got at the Barakal monitoring station was wrong? Cain replied, Yeah, I think Starfish is more up to date. It also seems they recovered all the crucial machinery Atlas stole from them. Shay then asked him, But who could have beaten them back? It should be practically impossible, unless they knew the future and planned for it. Cain heard her and thought of his grandfather, but he doesn't think he'd meddle in something like this. Shay asked Cain, What do we do now? Cain replied, Eliminating the remaining executives or returning to the Central Continent. That boss guy should return to the Central Continent once he hears the announcement of their deaths. The absolute one. Nobody knows their name, age, or even gender. All we know is that they call him the Absolute One, and that he wields a powerful weapon. Shay then asked Cain, Can you fight against the Absolute One, Cain-san? Cain replied, I don't know for sure until I meet them, but I'd probably lose. If we ran into him now, it's highly likely I'd die. Then he remembered his grandfather's note and thought, If that note is true, then I need 1,000 warriors to like and comment next part. That way, I'll know you stood strong till the end. Until next time, stay sharp and take care.